077. 981. Hallo. 647. Bitte, bitte sehr. 52, I think. Yes. 007. Okay, danke. 64. 6.
Welcome back to Lenzerheide 2025. Week 2 continues here at the sun-drenched Roland Arena with the oldest discipline in the sport, the men's 20 kilometres individual. Our first and only look at the 4-kilometre loop that the athletes will tackle 5 times. It's 690 metres of climbing, 4 shooting stages where we alternate between prone and standing, and no penalty loop, but 1 additional minute added to the athletes' race time for every miss. Alongside myself, Ellard, is former Team USA biathlete Chad Salmela. Chad, we're up to 8 degrees today, but not too much movement in the range in terms of wind. Very similar conditions to what we've seen all week.
No, but if you're a Fahrenheit person, that's 47 degrees. It's almost hitting 50 degrees out there. It's very spring-like. Course is in good shape because it's held up overnight when it freezes. It's been freezing every night, but the difference is the situation of the individual, the longest race of the repertoire, in the middle of the week with warm temperatures, really becomes an issue of how have you been feeling this week for the athletes. That's going to be critical today.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can talk about that as well. It's a very different mental challenge to what the athletes have had to tackle so far. Misses, so costly. No 150-metre penalty loop that you can ski off in around 24 seconds. It's an additional minute to your race time, and this just changes the dynamic.
It does. It's a completely different thing. You can look at statistics of the biathlon season and look at high shooting percentages. You can look at ski speed, but the fact of the matter is this event is different. You have to have a different mentality as you approach it. You have to be somewhat conservative, but not too conservative that you back yourself off and don't do what you normally do in training. But you can't just go for it, because if you make a mistake, you can't take it back. You lose that minute forever, and you got to ski that minute off.
So we have 97 bibs, as you can see on your screens as we go through the start list, from Thomas McKiska up to Halden Borglum of Canada, our last starter. And, well, Chad, currently only 1 male athlete in history has won 3 in a row in this event at World Championships. That was Martin Fourcade between 2013 and 2016. Will that change today as Johannes Tingesbo looks to do 3 in a row?
I think it's a pretty good chance. It's, you know, the individual is impossible to call. I know we all try to do our predictors, but it's so hard to tell because, you know, one shot can change the dynamic. We saw, for example, Lujan Minot looked like she'd be out of it. She missed a shot in the first stage, and you think, oh, that's going to unravel. But then she went, you know, that kind of steeled her to get to win a medal yesterday in the women's individual competition. Same thing can happen here. You miss in the first stage, it's not the end of the world. For a guy like Johannes Tingesbo, even 2 misses in the first stage, if he comes back clean, can still compete for a medal. But so I think the biggest thing is, like, I think he's just got to get a good, clean start and try to maintain control through the first 2 shooting stages. If he's clean through the first 2 shooting stages, he's got a really good chance of breaking that record and joining Martin Fourcade as the only three-peat of this event.
Well, the other record that he, of course, has one eye on is Oliana Bjorndalen's 95 individual wins record. He's up to 90 now, Chad. He says there's a small chance of him doing it. He's not giving anything away in the interviews. We have 2 individual races left here, including this one, of course, and then 7 on the World Cup. It's going to be incredibly close.
9 races to get 5 wins.
Yep.
I don't know how you can't feel, if you're honest things about it, I don't know if you can't feel that pressure. It makes me kind of cringe just to think about it. But you know, he can do it. And if he does it, it'll tell you just how strong of a mentality he has to close it out with 5 wins of 9 races left. If he does it, I'll be even more impressed than I am of him today.
So the other story, outside of course, Johannes Tingesbo's perfect form here at the World Championships so far, is Campbell Wright, as we take a look at the US team who are gathered around waiting for their first starter. That's Paul Schomer, who you can see on your screens. But only one American winner in this event at World Championships. Chad, can that man make it too?
You know, if there's one thing going for Campbell Wright, is that the United States has done well at the World Championships in this event. The men, particularly. Susan Dunkley had 2 medals, neither of them in this individual event. But all the men's medals prior to this World Championships, there were 3 of them. They came in this event. 1987, Josh Thompson won a silver at the World Championships in Lake Placid, New York. Then it took all the way till 2013, and Tim Burke won a silver medal in this event as well at the World Championships in Nova Mesa. And then Lowell Bailey thrilled the crowd in 2017 and took home the World Championship title, skiing from the second to the last guy in the field to win by tenths of seconds. I think he's got a chance again, but this is not an event that Campbell Wright has particularly excelled at, so he's going to have to change the narrative a little bit.
Thomas Makiska of Czechia, wearing bib number 1 today, the first of our 97 starters tackling the classic, the men's 20 kilometers individual. As the action continues on week 2 of Lenzerheide 2025, it's the big one. And Chad, of course, we have a number of other athletes in this field who have world medals. We've got 17 of them who have world medals. That might be individual and might be relays as well. Of the returning former world champions, Talia Bow, he has 1 medal of each colour at World Championships in this event. Could he spring a surprise and challenge for the podium today?
Absolutely. He's skiing fast enough. He's going to have to go clean and then see what everybody else does. But you think that Johannes or Talia Bow won this event way back in 2011, and he's still competing, and he's still at the top of the sport. And even last season, he was at the World Championships. He was a silver medalist. He's a returning silver medalist. So absolutely, he can do it. Sebastian
Stoller pointing 1 finger to the camera and enjoying and embracing racing here on home snow. He was 3rd in this event at the Junior World Championships here in 2020 and holds a high water mark of 5th, coming from Östersund in 2023.
And he was 16th in this event last year at the World Championships. So being at home in Lenzerheide, having another year of experience, you know, watch for Stoller. He can, with clean shooting, he skis fast enough to be in there.
So the athletes coming out of the stadium, and it's straight into a climb. This course characterized by short, sharp climbs, a long descent down into the range as well.
And 4 kilometers is a long way to be with your thoughts. That's the other thing about this event. The way it lays out, you're shooting your final shooting stage at 16 kilometers. Yeah. That's longer than any other event. So you're a kilometer past any other event's finish line in the sport.
Bib number 5, Anton Widmar. Top 10 in this event at the Junior World Championships, which were hosted here. This now his 3rd Senior World Championships.
Currently ranked just 75th in the overall World Cup standings and has no points in this discipline. This discipline does not get contested very often, should point that out. There's been a short individual, which is 5 kilometers shorter than this 20K, that in the opening weekend in Kontiolahti, and then they did another one in Ruhpolding at the full distance. It's not the most popular event in the sport, but I think there's a lot of storytelling that can make these very compelling events, depending on how the race plays out.
And because it's competed so infrequently over the course of the season, it's exactly why we get so many surprises and so many names challenging for the podium. We have had 6 medals already up for grabs on the men's individual side of things, going to 4 athletes. And, well, you wouldn't be surprised, Chad, if we see a new face on the podium here in Lenzerheide.
I'm not only would be surprised, I kind of expect it. I expect it. If you just look at the season, the winners of this, there have been 2 of them. The winners have been Endre Stromsheim and Vebjørn Sørum. They're both good athletes, but neither of them are big names even for Norway. They're the depth guys for Norway. So it really invites the surprise and the underdog to stand on the podium today. And I love that. I think it's great about the sport.
Sebastian Stolder coming up to 0.8 of a kilometre past Hartberg Hill.
McKiska going out fast. It's his. It's only his. I believe it's his 3rd World Championship start for McKiska. But he's going out maybe a little bit fast in comparison to Stolder, just being excited, being number 1.
Yeah, his first race of these championships. He was 10th at the European Championships in Martel. The first of our American starters, Paul Schomer, had an incredible climb, Chad, in the pursuit, going from 56th up to 39th. And in good form coming into this, 2 bronze medals on the IBU Cup.
Yeah, Paul has been dealing with a knee problem the last 2 seasons. In fact, he thought he might hang up the skis and rifle last season, and then he called me. I coached him in college. He called me and he said, "Do you think I can get back on the World Cup?" And I said, "Absolutely, if you feel like your knee's going to hold up." And he decided in April or in May, late May, going into June, that he would try to start training and see if his knee would hold up. His knee's been fine ever since. He had great fitness, has had some setbacks with the training. The knee has flared up a couple times. But here he is back 2 years later, trying to get back to the level that he had been when he had the knee problem to begin with. And it's great to see that he's holding up and his knee is fine right now.
One of the early Vibs as well in the sprint. So going early on in this race might serve him well. He can pull off a similar performance to what we saw earlier on in, well, the start of this competition last week, Lenzerheide 2025. Michael Usov. 28 years old, this is 5th World Championships.
Personal best of 24th in World Cup action for Usov, so anything in the top 25 would be really welcome for him.
Sondre Slettermark, who has watched his sister compete over the course of the last few days. And now it's his turn, the 20-year-old making his World Championships debut.
Both his parents, former World Cup athletes as well, from about 25 years ago, and he was 12th at the World Championships last year, and now at the Junior World Championships, I should say, he was in 12th in the sprint. We get a good look at Hartwig, number 3. Long time till they come to shoot. You'll notice 4 kilometers takes a little while. It's going to take about 10, 11 minutes to get to the shooting range.
And Stolder being pipped by every athlete who's come through 0.8 of a kilometre since he's now down in 8th.
But Stolder, being from Switzerland, probably knows this course better than anybody. He knows what a 20 kilometer at this altitude on this course will do. It's a long climb out of the start. We said that before. But in no event does it make more sense and require more patience to go out and start the race as in the 20-kilometer individual.
Well, that's an interesting point you make, Chad, because Julia Simon spoke about it yesterday after the race. It's something that we've been discussing all week, is just how you manage this course. We've seen plenty of the athletes. It was the women in the sprint who said that they were told to go out a little bit more reserved and then build into it. We then saw Campbell Wright go bursting out the blocks and taking 2 silver medals with his tactics, and then Julia Simon actually yesterday saying it's not quite as cut and dry as being reserved on the first lap. You have to really find that balance to get a win in the fashion that she did.
And I think a lot of it is knowing where you are in the race week. We talked about the volume of kilometers raced, and if you just go out and kind of throw caution to the wind, you might stay on balance, but you also might really falter late in the race.
Well, the cheers in the Roland Arena for Nicholas Hartwig, wearing bib number 16 today. 19th in the sprint, 18th in the pursuit. He would have wanted a lot more than that. But coming off the back, Chad, of a very good result in Ruhpolding the last time that this race was run on the World Cup, finishing just outside the medals.
Has 2 career podium finishes in second place. One of them is in this individual that was last year in Kontiolahti. And then again, following up, he just missed the podium this year in Ruhpolding. And this is Hartwig's bread and butter. This is the event that he has come to win a medal in. And I'm really excited to see if he can pull it off today, because this crowd would go nuts.
Tashenko of Ukraine. Best World Championships performance was in this event in Oberhof in 2023, finishing 12th. And we stay with the start gate as Lukas Hofer, the 35-year-old who has plenty of experience, but no podiums in this event.
Yeah, it's a great example of a guy who's had some success, but this event has, in his long career, is 12 plus years. I think he's been around for 13, 14 years, and he has yet to get on the podium in an individual. It's because it's just not his thing. It's a hard thing to pace yourself just mentally for this event. And Hofer is he's kind of a dog ready to chase a ball.
And he'll be followed out 30 seconds later by one of his compatriots, Ellard Zaini. His first race of these championships, Zaini, in his 3rd senior world championships, representing Italy. Still one of the youngsters on the squad at 23 years old. Building towards an Olympic Games on home snow next year. Also the first race of Lenzerheide 2025 for Johannes Kuhn. The first start of his 6th World Championship.
Been on the podium twice in the individual over his career. So this is an event that Kuhn, if he can get the standing shooting down, can compete in. He was 19th in this event last year, but he's a 95% prone shooter. It's in his standing where he has trouble. He's 71% this year.
On camera right, just showing on camera what was written on the bottom of his skis as the first of our Swiss athletes comes into the stadium and will approach the range. 4 standing stages, and we are alternating prone and standing, unlike, of course, the other 4-stage races.
Thomas Makiska from Czech Republic has come and gone from the shooting range. He starts with a miss, so he's got a minute added his time. His time to beat now is 11:04.1. You see that down on the lower right-hand side of your screen. Sebastian Stalder starting pretty slow, 13.2 seconds back. I'm going to guess it's by design, and he'll probably pick it up if he shoots clean here.
Charlie Manson leaving the start gate. His best performance, 4th in the short individual at the start of this season in Kontiolahti. As Sebastian Stalder drops down, Joschka Burkhalter prepares to start his race, and it's Sebastian Stalder who starts with a miss.
It's a miss. It's a tough first stage. You can see the Swiss coach just shaking his head because he knows that Stalder just doesn't have the speed to not be clean today for a medal.
Danilo Liedmüller of Germany. Lights racing here in Lenzerheide. Fond memories of being a junior and taking pursuit gold at the World Championships Junior Worlds here in 2020, looking to make his mark today.
Had a massive performance earlier this year to get second in the mass start in Annecy Le Grand Bornand. Kind of a surprise to the whole world to see Riedmüller come from the IBU Cup and then stand on the podium so quickly.
Lovro Plonko of Slovenia has a personal best of 9th here in the sprint on the World Cup last season.
Plonko, a very solid shooter. This is the kind of event that he needs to make his hay on.
Now here is the story of these World Championships. 2 silver medals in the bank already for Campbell Wright. Can he add to his impressive tally?
We'll see if his fly by the seat of his pants style will work in this individual.
And you can hear the noise, Chad. That's the same roar that we expect from any of the Swiss athletes as they push away. He's clearly so loved, such a personality.
Very popular. I think the entire sport is loving it. I've been watching the Norwegians on the shooting range, and they almost treat him like a new star to them. They're really enjoying congratulating him when he does well, even when he beats them. It's fun to see.
Here's the Finn Arttu Heikkinen. And that is a good start indeed.
Great composure, and he's got a good start. He comes in 6.1 seconds in the lead. He's going to leave with a lead, I think, as well, over Dudchenko. He's got 13 seconds to get to that time check. And a big change in recent years, trying to put these pulls on the straps adds a little bit of time, but 8 seconds is a good time for Heikkinen.
Yep, a very subtle fist pump there from coach Erik Tornes Kolstad.
Here's Paul Schomer now, 3.9 seconds ahead of Heikkinen, coming into the shooting stage. At the first 2 time checks, he's still the fastest guy at 2.4K is Schomer. Hartwig trailing him by 2.2 seconds back in third.
Adjusting his sight though.
At the focus. Body looks really calm. Oh, that 5th shot. Same thing happened in the sprint. Gets the 4 down and then thinks about it. There's number 10 now. George Koltea. He comes in 7.4 seconds back of Heikkinen.
Andres Astaguyev's behind the start gate. 4th in this event at last year's World Championships. And of course, he took a surprise medal in the mass start.
Yeah, Grostaguyevs, you have to put him down as somebody to watch. Always the wily veteran.
Yep, and of course took a bronze medal in Ruhpolding in this event.
Koltea with a miss as well. So only 2 shooters clean so far through shooting number 1. Arttu Heikkinen and Anton Dudchenko separated by 8 seconds after the first shooting with 9 athletes through.
And Campbell Wright slotting into 3rd after 0.8 of a kilometer, 3.6 seconds down.
I would say based on what we're seeing from Campbell Wright all week, that is a conservative start. He's got Iliev and Lucas Hofer ahead of him. Both of them are kind of guys who like to chomp at the bit. So I would say that if they're ahead of Campbell Wright, that's Campbell Wright taking it easy.
2 of the Swiss athletes traveling together. Sebastian Stolder is tucked in behind Joshua Burkhalter. A lap separating these 2.
Burkhalter with a solid performance so far in this sprint event. He's been 10th and 12th, and that's much higher than he normally finishes in any other discipline, so Burkhalter loves this individual as well. There's Martin Ponsaloma now out at the 0.8 kilometer mark. No surprise there, he's leading by 2.6 seconds over Iliev. But it tells you Campbell Wright 6 seconds down to Ponsaloma, and Ponsaloma is absolutely going for it. So Wright not really skiing that much slower than Ponsaloma.
Because Campbell Wright's 2 medals came in such quick succession, Chad, there was no time to really let what happened on the first day sink in. Do you think securing a medal today would be more of a challenge because he's had that time to come to terms with what's happened?
I think that it's just hard to, after you've had 2 medal performances, it's just hard to step it up. The mental requirements for this event, it's going to be a big challenge for Campbell Wright because the focus has to be very acute. I think Campbell does better when he's has a crowd of people and competes head-to-head with a crowd of people. When he's a little bit by himself, I think he struggles a little bit more. He might get into his head too much, but we'll find out. I mean, I think he's certainly in great form. His ski fitness is the best we've ever seen. Just can he find that mentality, that groove in his mind? Here's a guy we know can do that.
Nicholas Hartwig coming in 14.3 seconds in the lead.
Yeah, he really picked it up the second half of that loop, that 4 kilometer loop. So Hartwig now. Perhaps more familiar with this shooting range and track than anybody in the world.
Superb rhythm there.
Beautiful.
Really lovely cadence from Nicholas Hartwig.
We saw that from the silver medalists yesterday in Sweden. We saw that from Ellard Halvorsen. Nicholas Hartwig and Ellard Halvorsen are kind of similar athletes. They're probably in the field, if you compare this Ellard Halvorsen to the field of the women's field, Hartwig's kind of the Ellard of the men's field. It's his best event, and he can win a medal if he does exactly that 3 more times.
Well, it's all the Swiss team wants, as they spoke about at the opening ceremony. Just 1 medal.
Hofer comes in with a big lead. 12.6 seconds over Hartwig. It's effective, not as smooth as Hartwig. You can see a slight difference in cadence, a little less rhythmic, but he made it work. He's 5 for 5, and he's going to take the lead from Hartwig as well, outskiing him by just a few seconds.
Yep, 4.6 seconds. Lucas Hofer leads. Here is Talio Bo, world champion in this event back in 2011. That was his first World Championships. This is his last. And he will be desperate to find just 1 medal here at the World Championships. As Johannes Kuhn pulls in to the range for the first time, shooting 1. He's 11 seconds down.
I should point out here that Lucas Hofer, the leader, is way ahead of everybody else. He comes into the shooting range 11 seconds ahead of Kuhn. Kuhn is the second fastest. So Hofer really speeding up that last half of the first lap. Kuhn, this is his strength. Needs to make these all go down. 95% shooter in prone this season. Been over 90% for most of his career. That's not the scary part. The scary part is the standing. So Kuhn, outside the time of Hofer, showing you that Hofer is skiing quite quickly. Kuhn will be the third of the athletes with clean shooting. Here's Ellard. He has a silver medal from this event way back in 2012. And he's got a miss. Or excuse me, 2019. He's the silver medalist.
So 1 minute added onto his race time as they go past where the entrance to the penalty loop usually is here at the Roland Arena, and straight out and into the climb. Sebastian Samuelsson, 3rd in this event in 2023. And hasn't stood on the podium as much as he would have liked so far this season.
He's got 1 individual podium in his career way back in just 2 years ago at the World Championships in Oberhof. So he has a medal at the Worlds in this event, but it's the only time he stood on an individual podium.
And an event that, well, Sweden haven't thrived in, let's say. The last time they won was the first edition of the individual 20-kilometer World Championships back in 1958. Joschka Burkhalter misses. We join him.
And the Swiss just, right now, Joschka Burkhalter knows that he and Stahler both skiing together know they have to be clean. And neither of them start clean from the prone position as Burkhalter sustains a miss. 120 back.
Emilien Jacquelin, bib 44. No individual wins or podiums.
And I would love to see Emilien Jacquelin turn this event on its head. He's never even been close to winning one. It's just not his style. A little bit more like Campbell Wright, who comes into the range now. They tend to be a little bit more flamboyant and head-to-head competitors. But Campbell Wright enters the range, 6.2 seconds down to Hofer. Looks very much in control. Looks at the wind, makes no adjustments. Can he keep his streak alive? He's very fast in the first shot with a miss, 12.9 seconds. That was almost a mistake, I would say, shooting that first shot that fast. And now he's going to make a mental note. Well, don't do that again, Campbell.
Yep. Well, he can't afford to.
No.
If he wants to find himself on the podium, he will have to be perfect for the next 15 and be quick on the skis as well. Here's Martin Ponsaloma, someone who's certainly very quick on the skis. Fabien Claude, next of our French athletes to emerge from the gate.
And the question for me watching Martin Ponsaloma is, when is it just going to click for him? When is it going to come back?
His prone shooting has been improving while we've been here in Lenzerheide.
But he just starts with a miss again. He's up to 70% as of today. It's 4 for 5. That's a step forward. Not going to win an individual if he keeps missing shots, but here's Arttu Heikkinen now. Can he go clean 10 for 10? And no, just almost jumped out of the shot to get out of the range. You can see it was not very well followed through. So it's just 7 athletes through shooting number 2 now. Arttu Heikkinen will slot into, trying to find the second shooting here. Heikkinen slides into second spot behind Stalder, 10 seconds back. No clean shooting through 2 stages yet.
Strong time. Winner of the short individual in Kontiolahti and leading this discipline on the World Cup.
So Schomer coming back a little bit on the skis, maybe picking up the pace a little bit. Looks really good prone, but missed that last shot. I like his composure here. He comes in, he doesn't look at all like he's out of control. Oh, and he misses this last shot again. It's just that follow through. Got to stick with it all the way through. So
he has such good rhythm through the first 4, Chad, and then for the second time, it's just that fall down on the last.
I think a lot of it is just, it's been a while since he's competed at this level, and just that focus, he hasn't had a chance to really jive with the field and the atmosphere.
Well, a smiling away for Bjorn Sølum. A relaxed figure. He cuts behind the start gate. Winner in Ruhpolding. His first World Cup win, and that was in this event. A dominant performance on the day as well, Chad. It really all did come together for Sølum, and he'll be hoping for the same today if he can deny this man a 3rd consecutive win in this event at a World Championships.
Yes, sir. Sølum is in really good ski shape. I think that's the biggest thing. He's got to watch his ski shape a little bit. He's so fit right now that he could jeopardize his shooting if he goes a little bit off sides and pushes too hard, which is a very common mistake to make at altitude.
Here's Thierry Longo of Belgium. As Johannes Tingesbo looks to make history once again. Only Martin Fourcade has won 3 in a row in consecutive World Championships in this event.
Good start for Thierry Longer, but JT Boo is now setting his sight on his 91st win.
Well, Chad, he made the decision to leave the Norwegian high-altitude camp to train and recover on his own terms in the break between the World Cup and the start of these World Championships. It always was something we expected from him. It's something he spoke about a lot, is despite having the illness in Christmas, he was so focused on being able to train by himself and have that family time in between the World Championships. Just how well is that serving him, and how much is that adding to this relaxed figure that is just running away with this championships?
I think if you look at his performance here, it tells you that it was probably more important than the altitude. There's the physical stuff you have to focus on, and then there's the emotional stuff. And really, for Johannes Tingesbo, watching him this year, it was really more about, it was going to be more about where his heart is than where his heart and lungs are. I think that's the biggest thing. So it was clearly the right choice. He's done well here. He's already won 2 gold medals, and trying for a 3rd straight today.
Won't be a medal today, despite already having that mixed relay silver for Vítězslav Hornig. Nicholas Hartvig in for his first standing shoot and starting with a miss.
So far, the shooting has been a bit challenging at shooting point number 2. Shooting 2, nobody clean yet through the 2nd shooting stage. So 1 miss all the way through the first 13 athletes, and that's a little odd. I would expect somebody to be clean through 10 shots with 15 athletes through. But Hartvig will take the lead nonetheless with a miss and 28 seconds ahead of his teammate Stalder.
Quentin Fiormaillet, the 56th, taking the bronze medal in the sprint, the Olympic champion in this discipline. And that's his only individual win.
Yeah, I was surprised that day. It's much like we were surprised with any individual competition with Ellard yesterday, for example. I did not expect him to win that Olympic championship, and he hasn't won a medal. He hasn't won one since. Here's Hofer with a big lead now, big chance at a big lead, but he misses. And now he's on par with Hartvig, Stalder, Heikkinen, and those with one miss. 2 misses.
Now 3. And that's the race over for Lucas Hofer in terms of competing for a medal. Talia Bo coming in 7.7 seconds behind. Laser focus.
Oh, and he misses the 5th. Lots of thinking going on out there. So as you see these misses, you hear that chunk on the shot, you know that there are athletes like Falk here who want to come in and scoop their medal from the Norwegians. Just keep missing, everybody. Jakob Falk will try to hit 20 for 20 and maybe take a world championship late in his career.
Already has 1 world title in this discipline. That was back in Ruhpolding in 2012. Here's Eric Perrault, after securing his first individual medal at the World Championships.
Perrault spectacular at 4 shooting stages, but has never won an individual competition. In fact, never. He's going to take the lead here, I think. Oh, comfortably over Hofer.
Yep.
Kuhn has a miss in the breakout, but Perrault, oh, he's going to be way ahead. 17 seconds.
17.6 seconds for Perrault.
Huge lead for Perrault.
Sturla Holmlaglide. Big final deep breath. Bib number 60, so one of the last athletes who will be keeping an eye on to challenge for the victory. Martin Oldal to come in 2 bibs time, but Sturla Holmlaglide, the points leader on the World Cup circuit, that hasn't stood on the podium yet in Lenzerheide 2025.
Here's Samuelson. Again, this is not his strongest event either. One third place finish in individual in his career. 8.4 seconds back to Perrault. That tells you how fast Perrault is starting. This is good for Samuelson, though.
Very good indeed. Perfect start for Sebastian Samuelson.
But Perrault is flying on the skis. He's going to have... Hofer's not a big surprise. The 8 seconds on Samuelson, that's a fast start for Perrault. I would expect Samuelson to outski Perrault.
Yep. That is a perfect sign of just how quick Eric Perrault's going, because we know how fast Sebastian Samuelson is. Here's Emilien Jacquelin coming in 9.2 seconds down as he cuts at Burkhalter.
Perrault also shot the fastest in shooting 1. It's 8.8 seconds. His range time, actually Perrault's 9th fastest. Hartvig the fastest through shooting number 1. Oh, a miss for Burkhalter. That's what the groan from the crowd is. Jacquelin right away with a miss, and he's 9.2 seconds back. This does not look so far like the day that Emilien Jacquelin's going to figure out the individual.
Yep, 2 shakes of the head. He looks over to the coaching staff. 2 misses, 2 minutes added on his first visit to the range. Well, this was his best solo event at Novo Mesto World Championships last year, finishing 5th, but he'll have to really battle if he wants to finish on the in the flower ceremony this afternoon.
So the big name, the early start of the big names, of them, Perrault is clean after shooting 1 and leading by 8.8 seconds over clean Sebastian Samuelson. Hofer clean, Hartvig clean, Kuhn clean, and Longer clean. All that's your top 6, but we know that Hofer has 3 misses from standing. Hartvig has 1. Still lots of opportunity for starters to come in and go clean.
Including this man, Fabien Claude, who is 15.6 seconds down, and well, that deficit increases with a first miss as Martin Ponsaloma comes in for his first of 2 standing shoots.
Ponsaloma comes in 27 seconds back despite a miss. Don't count him out yet. He's got 9 for 10, and he's blistering the skis. Lap time, he'll come through here. Shooting 2 with 1 miss on the day. Going to be even on the shooting range with Hartwig, and he's going to lead by a lot.
Yep.
37 seconds now, Ponsaloma leading.
With one miss. And, well, as you can see there, the top 5 that he joins as well, all with misses after shooting 2.
Well, we've been calling the entire season together, and I don't know the last time I've said Ponsaloma leads in a biathlon race.
No.
After 2 shooting stages, so this is a good start for the Swede.
Strong time.
Slow start, way out on the skis. I don't know if that's by design or if it's just conservative. Oh, this is not a good start for Stromsheim. A miss with a 27-second deficit coming in to shoot. He's got a big hole to dig.
And this is now shooting 3 of 4 for Heikkinen of Finland. 9 out of 10 from his first 2 visits.
Trailing by 29.6 to Stalder, who is 1 miss on the day, 14 for 15. The best Heikkinen can do is match that. He's already got 1 miss from the second shooting. I like Heikkinen's approach to the shooting range. It's not too fast, it's not too slow, very deliberate. This is good stuff from the Finn. Yep,
14 out of 15. We've seen some very impressive performances from Finnish athletes. And not just Suvi Minkkinen, but particularly in the range. Further down the rankings, the Finns really coming into some good form. A miss for Björn Sörlund, the individual winner in Ruhpolding. Coming in 20.3 seconds down as well. So will emerge well behind the time of Eric Perrault. It will just be in the top 20, I think.
Here's Rasigulievs now. Comes in 6th spot, trailing by 16.3 seconds to Ponsaloma. But that miss will throw him down the standings a little bit further. Okay, Jana, here's the story.
Yep, Johannes Tingesbo in the gold vest, the defending champion, coming in 13.3 seconds behind Eric Perrault.
Perrault and Sanderson.
And he starts with a miss.
Big hole, bigger hole.
2 misses.
It's turning into a chasm. And that is over. There's no chance. He's skiing 13 seconds off Perrault in the first 4 kilometers. He's out of it. I can't see him coming back.
3 misses. That is so uncharacteristic. Although in saying that, the last time we saw something like that from Johannes Tingesbo was in the individual in Ruhpolding.
That's right. Maybe just not feeling all there. I mean, his skiing was definitely slower than I would have expected. So Bö is out of the picture now. Johannes Tingesbo will likely not win with those 3 misses unless something crazy happens at the front of the field. Door opens up for Jacomel, and Thierry Longer's clean 10 for 10.
Yep, that's a good first half of the race for Thierry Longer of Belgium. Both him and Florent Claude with some good individual performances over these World Championships so far. All eyes on Jacomel, 5 for 5. Great start for the young Italian.
Came in 6.1 seconds back of Perrault. Those guys know each other well from their junior competitive careers. Now they're knocking heads at the top of the senior order for the World Championship gold. And they're just 8 seconds apart after the first shooting stage. The youth revolution is on with Johannes Tingesbo missing 3 in the first stage. Hartwig has to have heard that Bö has 3 misses.
Fiormaillet in for his first shoot as Hartwig comes in for his 3rd.
Fiormaillet missing in the breakout. 2 misses for Fiormaillet, but Hartwig goes clean.
Yep, a perfect day in the prone position for Nicholas Hartwig on home snow. A quick look to the side for the time, and well, no doubt it'll be the lead.
Good stuff from Switzerland. 1 and 2 in the early running in this men's individual.
12 athletes of the 97 through shooting 3. And we're back with Johannes Tingesbo after 3 misses in the prone position, his first of 4 visits to the range.
And Campbell, right? Oh, that's Maxime Germain trying to get a ride off of Johannes Tinga's boat for the United States. Germain starting in bib 51. He started 30 seconds ahead of Johannes, so losing that 30 seconds to Johannes. But let's see where he is in the standings after shooting 1. Germain.
Our leader, though, coming in to shooting 2. Flying on the skis. This is first of 2 standing shoots.
If you're the coaches, you almost don't want to tell Perrault anything at this point. Just let him do his thing. Oh, there's the first chink in the armor. 4 for 5.
He will still have the lead, though, with plenty around him missing. He will go ahead of Martin Ponsaloma.
That's amazing. If you think about where Ponsaloma's ski statistics have been, for Perrault to be skiing with Ponsaloma with his shooting pedigree, he's clearly the favorite today right now on course. So it's Perrault and Ponsaloma separated by just 4 seconds. Then Thierry Longer of Belgium holding down 3rd after 2 shooting stages. Here's Sturla Holmlagride.
22.4 seconds down.
Perrault, if these guys are hearing their splits, they're going to be, the Norwegians are going to be wondering where their ski speed is at. Perrault and Jacomel really on another level in the Norwegians.
Sturla Holmlagride, clean, but he will be off the pace of Eric Perrault. And he will slot in 6th, 22.3 seconds down as Johannes Kuhn pulls away after his 3rd shoot, 14 out of 15.
Hartwig's having a great skiing day. He's got Johannes Kuhn by 30 seconds with the same number of misses. So Hartwig is on course. He's starting relatively early. Can't get you too excited, but he's got a great opportunity to medal, maybe win today, with all the misses we're seeing from some of the biggest names. Perrault and Ponsaloma are the biggest threats, though.
Well, the time of the leader will tick by as well for Martin Oldal, who comes in 22.8 seconds behind Eric Perrault.
And a miss.
Yep.
The Norwegians just don't have it today. They don't have it on the skis. They don't have it on the shooting range.
Well, the only Norwegian that could challenge is now Sturla Holmlagride, but he will need to turn things up on the skis. Is Vitaly Manzin, shooting 3. 1 miss from his first visit to the range in the prone position. That hugely impressive 4th place finish in the short individual in Kontiolahti. We thought that might be the start of a really exciting season for him. He has improved overall over the course of the last 2 months, but not quite hit the heights of that first day of racing in Finland.
Good
That's
start
nice,
from Manzin. Yeah, that's good. It's 14 for 15. It's not normally, you wouldn't say 14 for 15 is good as if there were a lot of clean shooters, but there is nobody clean out there really at 3 stages. So great start from Manzin. He's still in the medal hunt. We'll push Stalder down to 4th as Manzin into 3rd now for Ukraine.
No jokes on all of us who put more than 5 to shoot 20 out of 20 on the IBU Predictor Challenge today, thinking the conditions look quite calm.
I think it's just nerves and tiredness, fatigue and tired. Here's Stalder now, final shooting stage. He's got 14 for 15, leads by 3:15 over McKiska, but he's racing everybody behind him from bib 3. 19 for 20 might be the high water mark on the day. There's a good shooting performance.
Yep, Sebastian Stalder, 19 out of 20. He will take the lead, that's a given. But he will be being chased from behind, and there'll be plenty of eyes on the man wearing bib number 3.
It's going to be a lot to hang on for a medal with his ski speed, but what a way to lead the way for the home team out of bib number 3. Misses in the first stage, almost wrote him off, and then goes 15 for 15.
To recover like that in front of a home crowd takes some mentality. Here's Victor Brandt who already has 4 misses and is well out of the battle. Well, Chad, now the pressure's off. You see that for Victor Brandt. He missed 4. You know he's not racing for anything, and he could just rattle down those 5 targets there.
And that can happen. You think of the same thing for Sebastian Stalder. He had that miss in the first stage, and 1 is not a tragedy. 2 is pretty rough. 3 for Johannes Tingesbø, that's almost not doable for him at this point, especially with the ski speed compared to Perot on the first lap. But yeah, Victor Brandt had 4 misses. Now all he has to do now is hit 10 for 10 to come home respectable to 80% shooting. So now we're waiting for Ponsaloma to come into shooting 3. Should be approaching. He has Hartweg by 51 seconds at the 10.4 kilometer mark, does Ponsaloma. They each have a miss. Terry Longer sticking in there with big 32, clean through 2 stages. Here's the 4th stage now for Arttu Heikkinen. He's 14 for 15, trying to go 19 for 20. Oh, miss for Heikkinen. And this is where it gets tough. 16 kilometers and the lactic acid in your legs is starting to mess them. And this is not like, you don't really even train for this because you don't really push that hard in most workouts to get this tired to shoot standing. So it's tough stage for Heikkinen in the last one. 3 misses on the day for him. Johannes Tingesbø on the 2nd shooting stage, trailing by 3:17.
Another miss for Johannes Tingesbø. 4 on the day.
Rastaguyev's now. Can he throw his hat in the ring? Shooting number 3. 9 for 10 on the day. Trailing by 104. Schomer drops another last shot and then breakout. And you can see him kind of curse that last shot. Rastaguyev's, though, trying to move into the top 3. Ahead of Stalder. Not going to get there, I don't think. He's got 10 seconds to get out of the range. But 14 for 15. It's good now. That is a good shooting score so far today through 3 shooting stages.
Tommaso Giacomel clean in the prone position. They're shooting 2 and standing.
Oh,
very good. Very good from Tommaso Giacomel after the disappointment of the last few days. He will still be.
He's not out skiing Perot. He's going to fall within a minute. So he's clean. Perot has 9 for 10. Tommaso Giacomel has 10 for 10. He's going to fall out. He's going to take the lead, but you can see that Perot is skiing faster. That's important to know because Giacomel doesn't have the comfort of missing a shot now if he wants to win.
So a new leader after shooting 2.
Here's Terry Longer now.
10 out of 10 so far.
He's seated. He's way off the ski time of Hartweg. He has to stay clean. It's his only chance of even staying in the top 3. Taking his time. That's okay. Just hit the shots, Terry. Great stuff.
15 out of 15 for Thierry Longer, who I think it should be just enough as Nicholas Hartweg.
Hartweg's 3 for 3. Can he go 19 for 20? Oh, it'll be 18, and I just don't think that's enough to win a medal.
No.
And everybody knows it. Everybody feels the same thing we're feeling. 19, maybe it'll do it, but 18, I think it's just 1 too many. Somebody's going to come in and scoop that from him.
Yeah, he needed to be perfect there. It will still be the lead by 33.6 seconds from his compatriot Sebastian Stalder, but he won't be hanging on to that for very long at all.
Get a look back at that shooting. It's so hard to hold it together in that last stage.
I think the whole of the main stand here in the Roland Arena with a very similar reaction to that of the Swiss coaches. Here is our current leader, Eric Perrault.
And our leader group is continuing to shrink as big names miss. Lots of shots. Johannes Thun's both 4 misses for 10. Taking an adjustment on the sights is Perrault. I think the wind, if anything, is maybe a little softer than when he zeroed. And look at how fast he's going. That is confidence. Oh, this is good stuff. Big race between this young Frenchman and the young Italian at the front of the field. There's Tarjebu, who has 1 miss so far on the day in the breakout. But meanwhile, Perrault's going to go inside a hard fake by just over 50 seconds.
Yep. 1 more shooting stage to go for Eric Perrault. Tarjebu also goes 14 out of 15, but is well off the pace on the skis today.
And he knows he's got to stay clean and hope that Perrault and Jacomel miss in the last 2 shooting stages.
Yep, and really needs to pick it up on the skis as well on the last 2 laps. 4 kilometers each of the laps today for this 20-kilometer individual.
Should be seeing Sturla Lagrade come in. Here's Lagrade now. Oh, and he's got a miss. 9 for 10, and he's way out. 1:25 out, so skiing is not going well. The Italians are against the ropes. Way outside the time of Jacomel. I don't think we're going to see a Norwegian on the podium today.
Johannes Kuhn in for his final shoot. He's at 54.8 seconds behind as Martin Oldal pulls up alongside him. Another miss.
Was about to take the lead from Hartweg, but that miss put him further back. Germans just looking for anything to sink their teeth into this week. 2 on the day for Kuhn, 18 for 20. Don't think that's going to be a podium finish. Missed the shooting of Martin Ponsaloma on number 3. Ponsaloma missed 2 more shots from the 3rd shooting stage, so things not getting any better there.
Emilien Jacquelin. So disappointed with the early stages of competition here in Lenzerheide. Not competing in the manner he'd want to in the sprint and the pursuit. It wasn't the confident final leg that we're used to seeing in the mixed relay either.
Already 2 misses out of 10. There's a 3rd. It's almost like Emilien Jacquelin needs somebody to antagonizing him next to him on the range for him to perform. He's checked out.
You can see it took him so long to get up from the position, to look up. You could see it on his eyes. It's race over completely. Here is Sebastian Stolder, bib number 3, into the stadium, and will be our new leader with just 3 of the 97 competing in this 20-kilometer individual race across the line. A really solid race day, 19 out of 20. But won't be enough for a medal.
If Ponsaloma can clean here, he's in it. He's got 4 kilometers worth, but another miss makes just 1 more too many. With 4 kilometers, he had a lot to work with. That's a canvas for a guy like him. And he's going to go to 5 missed shots on the day. And Ponsaloma trying to mount some kind of comeback and go 60% in the final 10 shots.
Campbell Wright, who has 3 misses, but clean in his last prone visit. This is his final visit to the range.
Same thing, 1 too many. If that had gone down, he's got the ski speed to maybe get himself back into the leader group, but another minute is just going to be too much to overcome.
Yep, it won't be another medal for Campbell Wright. What has been a fairy tale World Championships so far.
2 seconds up on Schomer with one more penalty than Schomer. So there's Americans are 6th and 7th after shooting 4 with Hartwig and Stalder in the lead at this point. It's going to take some major meltdowns from Jacomel and Perot for those Swiss men to hang on to those top 2 medal spots, the gold, silver. But, you know, they might want Hartwig might hang on for the bronze at this point.
57.3 seconds in the lead at 18.4 kilometers. He needs to continue to chip away at the time here. Just keep the pace high if he's going to be in with a chance of taking a medal. It's all the Swiss delegation want here on home snow, just one medal. As we watch Paul Schomer of the USA, bib number 9, come towards the finish line, this long descent around the back of the main stand.
He's not going to get Stalder, but clearly out skiing Stalder with 2 more misses. So Schomer finds the ski speed today, but just probably a miss or 2 too little, too many to really be in it today.
Yep, 17 out of 20. And Chad, those misses always coming on the last. How easy is it to coach that out of an athlete when it just seems to be, you know, there's a pattern there?
It's a pattern that everybody has to struggle with. I think it has more to do with just him not having the opportunities at this level this season to really go through that mental progress. I know he's going to kick himself for it. All 3 of his shots, the 5th shot. All 3 of his misses. There's now Konrad Barats. And a miss for him in the 3rd stage will drop him out of the top 10. And Johannes Tingesbø now leaving the 3rd shooting stage as well. Just for interest's sake, we'll take a look at where he is.
Down in 24th with still 4 misses. Johannes Tingesbø for Bjørn Sørlem, wearing bib number 50. Takes a look over his shoulder and sees the gold bib behind him, just 2 places separating them at shooting 3. Here is Rastiguyevs. Jacomel in for his 2nd prone shoot at the same time.
Rastiguyevs can challenge a Swiss, but that's going to cost him a medal for sure, or any chance at one.
18 out of 20 for Rastiguyevs as we're back with Tommaso Jacomel, who's perfect so far. Can he make it 15 out of 15? Well, what an assured performance that is from the young Italian. So much frustration over the course of the last few days, but clean through 3 shooting stages. Here's Niklas Hartwig. A venue that he knows so well. Living here in Lenzerheide, and he will go top. 66.1 seconds, his advantage. How long will he be able to hold on?
Now looking at the fast skiers, Fillon-Maillet has 2 from the first miss, from the 1st shooting stage. If he can go 18 for 20 and hit the next 15 or the next 10 shots, it's not impossible for him to get on the podium, but that will make it close to impossible. That miss there. Drops back to where Rastiguyevs is.
Well, it will be such a nervous wait now for Niklas Hartwig with so many missing.
You wouldn't expect to be leading a world championship, even from bib 16 with 2 misses on the day, and yet there is Hartwig in the Swiss flag at home in Lenzerheide in the lead. Perot has a miss on the day for France and is absolutely obliterating the ski tracks out there. Perot, his lap time for lap number 3 was just 2/10 slower than Johannes Tingesbø, but set the fastest time in lap number 1. Now Thierry Langer.
Perfect so far.
Can he be the only athlete to shoot clean today? Outside the time of Hartwig already. So focused. He does it, he does it.
20 out of 20 for Thierry Langer. Likely to be one of just a few to shoot clean today.
Now for the win. Look at the time, 2:30. The only guy that is chasing him is Jacomel. Perot. Oh, he's not taking his time. He's going for it. And he gets them all, saving time and shooting them all down. 19 for 20. And that puts a lot of pressure on Jacomel, who's clean through 3 stages. Huge shooting stage by Ellard Perot.
And will that be enough for a first world title? A quick glance to the side. In the lead by 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Tommaso Jacomel, the only one who can challenge him, but much further down the road behind him is Johannes Kuhn. 18 out of 20 for the German as Talia Bow comes in to shoot standing.
It's now a 2-man story for the win. It's between Jacomel and Perot.
Talia Bow coming into shooting 4 in 4th. Another miss for Talia Bow. 18 out of 20 is Johannes Kuhn with the same record in the range. Comes towards the line. And he will go into 3rd temporarily.
Well, we have another athlete with her hat in the ring we haven't seen yet. Bib 55, late in the start order, started 30 seconds behind Tommaso Jacomel is Mikael Kritzmar. He's clean through 3 stages as well. Here is Samuelson now in the final stage. 4 misses already on the day.
Another miss for Stella Holmberg.
It's a mess out there today for the favorites. It's an absolute mess.
And this is why so frequently we see the individual competition throw up some first-time victors, and surely we will have a first-time world champion.
How many people has Sturla Holmberg as their winner today on their challenge? He's 3 minutes out with another 2 laps and a shooting stage to go.
Saying that though, I do know plenty who tipped Ellard Perot to do something special today. The weight of a first individual medal, solo medal at the World Championships out of the way. And he could be on course now for a first individual world title. Back-to-back golds in the mixed relay. He's never done it by himself. Here is Martin Uldal, 3 misses for the Norwegian. That's 4 now as Vitali Manzin comes towards the line. 18 out of 20, it won't be enough in any means for a medal today for the young Ukrainian. 4th for now for Bib 22.
That's it. Here's Martin Ponsaloma now with 5 misses on the day. The opportunity for Ponsaloma was so there. Comes into 5th spot for the moment.
So 22 of the 97 athletes over the line. Nicholas Hartweg still hanging on to the lead. Sebastian Solder in 2nd for now. And 1 minute and 6 seconds separating them. A shake of the head from Martin Ponsaloma. He comes over the line in 5th, 2 minutes down. That's Danilo Luitmuller. And he's followed over by Campbell Wright, who slots in just behind him in 7th.
So most years Campbell Wright would be okay with that.
Yep.
I think at this World Championships, it's going to feel like a little bit of a thud.
Well, the last 2 World Championships, he's finished in 20th each time. And, well, that should be more than enough for a top 20 finish again today. Fabien Claude. That's another miss. Now 4 for the Frenchman.
Oh, the French and the Norwegians cannot buy a shot today.
Apart from Ellard Perot, who's carrying the weight of a nation on his young shoulders.
There's not a Frenchman or a Norwegian anywhere near the medal except Talia Bow at 60.8 kilometers. He's in 6th place, but he's about 10 seconds out of the medals with a very tight race between Stalder, Langer, Horn, and Talia Bow. So the Norwegians may get Bow by the finish into medal position. Tarje, the older Boo.
Here is the younger of the two, Johannes Tingers, in the gold bib. So far from his day today. And he won't defend or retain his title here. 2 years on the bounce, he's run it, won it even, and today he will hang up the yellow gold bib that's on his shoulders.
One more shooting stage for Johannes Tingers Boo. Currently sitting at 14.4 kilometers. He was at the 17th spot, but trailing by 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Just not competitive with that many misses. So the drama hangs on the final shooting stage of Tommaso Giacomel, leading Perot by 28.9 seconds at the halfway point of the fourth loop. In the meantime, just for kicks, let's watch Johannes Tingers Boo.
And another miss. 5 on the day for Johannes Tingers Boo, just 15 out of 20 for the Norwegian, and another race will go by where he misses an opportunity to try and carve into the gap.
Not for a medal here, but Rostoguyev's trying to move ahead of Manzin for the wooden medal, 4th place. You can see how this discipline just throws a wrench into the whole week of the World Championships in a good way, I think.
Stromsheim.
Oh.
19 out of 20 for Stromsheim.
Not skiing terribly well, though. Still 240 out. He's still not going to be in it for the medals with 19 for 20.
Down in 5th with just 1 miss on the day. But here is Tommaso Giacomel shooting for his first world title.
That minute just passed, and now it gets tight. 5 seconds elapsed now. It's going to be a ski race between Giacomel and Perot with a miss in the final stage by the Italian.
Well, let's keep our eyes on the time. A shake of the head from Tommaso Giacomel. He needs to refocus quickly.
4 kilometers and 25 seconds is the gap. He's going to be rethinking that shot all night.
Quentin Filmae.
He could move into the silver, in the bronze medal spot. 2:03 is the time of Hartwig. He's at 1:40. It's not beautiful. It's 17 for 20, but it could get him a bronze.
Here is Eric Perot on his way to the finish line.
And I think you're looking at the world champion. I think Perot is going to be world champion today.
Taking his first ever world medal in the pursuit on the solo races. And around the corner comes the young Frenchman. The standout performer from his nation today. France will have an athlete on each of the podiums so far here at Lenzerheide 2025. But what colour will the medal be as Philip Horn goes into second for now? Eric Perot, is that enough for his first world title? A nervous wait now as Tommaso Giacomel just 26 seconds behind him and making his way around the final lap. Here's someone else who could be in the mix for a medal. Kretschmar of Czechia.
I think the graphic is wrong. Don't worry about the 5 there.
And the graphic correcting itself there. Looking for a perfect 20. And there's the first miss.
And now he's dropping down the standings. The bronze medal was within reach for Kretschmar, but 2 misses. Drops him out of the top 5. It happened so quickly.
Well, we have to talk about Philip Horn.
Absolutely.
Who goes
Where
into
did he come
third.
from?
And, well, I did note him earlier on. He was flying into shooting 4, and he was holding between 4th and 5th, and then across the line in a very good position. But that is just for now. Philip Horn in the final medal berth. Here's Talierbo.
Going to fall inside of Stalder into 4th.
Nicholas Hartweg hanging on as well to silver for now. And this is looking very promising indeed for Switzerland and their first medal of Lenzerheide 2025. Phil Maillet, will he be the one to push him down?
I don't know, it's close. Phil Maillet has Hartweg by 11 seconds. And Hartweg might be in the 4th spot again as Phil Maillet is starting to pull time. But talk about Philip Horn. The reason we missed Philip Horn is we didn't see him on the shooting, but he has made up a ton of time in the last lap. Left the 4th shooting stage, did Horn, way down in 8th spot, but he was only about 20 seconds out of Hartweg.
Well, quick and accurate shooting here for Jakob Fack. Could see him go into the mix. Oh, it's 19 out of 20 for Jakob Fack. The time of Phil Maillet will likely just go past. There it goes. But another really solid performance.
You know, the 20K is never really over until everybody's to the finish line. Fack is in position to do something, and he's been skiing well all week. And Giacomelli does not look like he's making a dent in the time. He's lost 4 seconds to Perot at the 16.8 kilometer mark.
Yep, if anything, he's going backwards. And here is David Zorbel, his first miss of the day.
It's not for a medal, but still a solid performance to come in last minute and race for Germany.
Yep, and 2 misses. And Stella Holmler-Glide quickly rattles off the shots, all hits, and it's 18 out of 20. But won't be enough for a medal by any means.
But Philip Horn, it was just right ahead of him there. Horn left the shooting range after shooting 4, down in 9th spot, 2:53 back of Perot, but it looked like he was 10 seconds behind Hartweg.
Stella Holmler-Glide will need a big final lap if he's to break into the top 10 even. And well, you can see the situation that Martin Oldal has found himself in with 5 misses.
So Horn will likely not take a medal at this point because he'll be behind Hartweg. And Phil Maillet, actually it was 13 seconds now at 16.8 between Phil Maillet and Hartweg in favor of Phil Maillet for the bronze. But there is a happy Frenchman.
Stromsheim, 3 minutes and 9 seconds off the pace of Eric Perot with identical shooting on the day, but that just shows how good that man has been on the skis over the course of the 20 kilometers. Jakob Fack fighting to close the deficit. He's at 16.8 kilometers.
It's 7 seconds he has to take out of Quentin Phil Maillet. That's a tough 7 seconds to pull out of the Frenchman.
And the gap continuing to open up behind Eric Perot. Tommaso Giacomel is not going to do it. It will be a first individual medal at a World Championships. It'll be another medal for Quentin Phil Maillet. If he can keep this pace going, Jakob Fack trying to rally behind, but we know the ski prowess of Quentin Phil Maillet when he is in good shape, and well, there's some of the best shape we've seen him in all season. He has 1 win on the World Cup this season.
And it looks like another 4th place for Switzerland, maybe 5th now with Jakob Fack ahead of Hartweg by 6 seconds at 16.8K.
Well, a slow approach to the finish line for Emilien Jacquelin. 5 misses, 7 minutes and 48 seconds behind the time of his compatriot. And well, you could tell after that second shooting stage that mentally his race was over. Not the World Championships that he would have wanted by any means. And well, after a perfect start to Lenzerheide 2025, Johannes Tingesbø unable to retain his title in the men's 20-kilometer individual race. Wearing the gold bib, he will fall outside of the top 10. 5 misses on the day. It seems to be some symmetry for Norway.
Nine different nations in the top 10 right now in this men's individual.
That first shooting stage for Johannes Tingesbø really setting the tone. 3 misses. And, well, it would have taken something truly spectacular to come back from that. He addresses the crowd, who duly respond. Stromsheim. And pushing Talia Bo down into 5th. Stromsheim slotting in 4th. And we're back with Tommaso Giacomel.
Time has come and gone.
Yep.
And now he's got to watch out for Quentin Fillon-Maillet, maybe snatching the silver from him. But it's a pretty big gap. It was nearly a minute, or almost a minute and 3/4 at the last time check.
Fillon-Maillet will be more concerned about looking over his shoulder. Tommaso Giacomel, a valiant effort, 19 out of 20. It will be his first medal at a World Championships in a solo race. And will it be enough for silver? He celebrates. You could see the frustration over the course of the last couple of days. Quentin Fillon-Maillet across the line in 3rd. It will be a silver for Tommaso Giacomel, and it will be a first world title for Eric Perrault. Now all eyes on Jakob Fak to see if he's done enough to push Quentin Fillon-Maillet out of the bronze medal position. It is a hard ask for the Slovenian.
He was trailing Fillon-Maillet, it was Fak, at the 16.8-kilometer mark by 7 seconds. And there goes the time. Oh, he's dropping time.
No. Gritted teeth. You can see he's working hard, but he's dropping down the order, and Jakob Fak is now in 5th.
He's dropped 2 tenths behind Hartwig, and you can see he just doesn't have the fight in him that he needs right now. So it'll be 4th or 5th, it looks like, for Fak, as Fillon-Maillet lit it up around that last loop and pulled 18 seconds ahead of Nicholas Hartwig by the finish.
A 4th world medal for Tommaso Giacomel. The first he's done by himself, though. The other 3 coming in the mixed relay and the single mixed relay with Italy. This is Kretschmar, who was really challenging for a medal before those 2 misses in the last visit to the range, but can't add to his cabinet today.
Yeah, and even if he had hit those 2 shots, he still would have fallen outside of the gold and silver. Would it be a bronze medal for Kretschmar had he gone perfect?
You have to say, though, another very strong performance from the Czech athlete, who already has a mixed relay silver medal from these championships, and at 34 years old is in some of the best form of his life. You can see the frustration there, but I'm sure when he reflects, he'll be proud of that performance today. And it's lovely to see the changing of the guard there, as the 2 youngsters stand 1 and 2 in the rankings. Sturla Holmlegård only enough for 13, that's 18.4 kilometers. He's well approaching 4 minutes down on Eric Perrault. And another great day in terms of podium finishes for the French team overall. Plenty of questions asked around their form as a unit.
Yeah, but look at Quentin Fillon-Maillet and Perrault. They blistered the skiing. Fillon-Maillet has 3 misses, and he's ahead of Stromsheim with 1, Bø with 2, Talia Bø with 2, ahead of Johannes Tingesbø with 5. But Fillon-Maillet and Perrault clearly skied well. I think the Norwegians, I have to say, their skis had to be non-competitive today. You just don't see Norway obliterated like that on the ski course without something wrong with their equipment.
Yep. and highlighting, of course, just how much of a team event this is, wider than just the athletes. As Jakov Fak, 19 out of 20. And it will be enough for another flower ceremony. And once again, he will be just off the podium. It's fifth. Nicholas Hartweg holds on to fourth.
You gotta love Jakov Fak. 37 years of age. He just doesn't quit. Just doesn't quit being competitive. He's in it again. No medal today, but right in the flower ceremony again.
Oh, 20 out of nice. 20.
And this is, well, Hinsel doesn't have the ski speed to make time on Quinton Maillet, but it's going to be close for the third spot as he leaves the shooting range. Hinsel from bib 75, coming off the IBU Cup, and he slots into just outside the bronze medal into fourth.
Well, he'll need a competitive final lap here. But where has he come from? As our attention has been on the finish line, and our new world champion. It might not be over yet in terms of the medals, but he will need a spectacular next 4 kilometers.
I think if Hinsel can stay in the top 6 at this point, he's going to do a good job with that last loop. He's only got 8 seconds on Hartweg, and he's nowhere near the ski pedigree. I think we're going to expect to see Hinsel land somewhere around 8th or 9th. Or maybe 6th or 7th behind Hartweg.
Well, if he can fight his way onto the flower ceremony, that certainly would be an excellent day in the office for the Finn. David Sobel across the line in 23rd, and behind him in 13th is Sturla Holmlaglide, outside of the top 10. How many times have we said that this season with regards to the Norwegian, who skis straight off the course? And, well, his frustration's evident there. Martin Oldal, 5 misses as well. The same mark as Johannes Dingersbo.
One of the things you think of when you watch a favorite is you look at their shooting time, their shooting misses, and their time back. With Oldal with 5 misses and 6:07 out of the lead, it tells you that he was incapable of winning clean. And that is just not the case with most Norwegians. Most days, any Norwegian clean will win, and at least in an individual. So the other nations that are not Norway really making hay today. It's great to see them step up, and the French certainly did it. Currently sitting with the gold and bronze medal. I have to say, Team USA doing pretty solidly as well. It wasn't anything of the excitement of Campbell Wright. Currently sitting in 22nd, 23rd are Wright and Schomer, and Jake Brown is on the last lap, also inside the top 30. So a good team effort by them. But here's Hinsel now. Going to get a lot of TV time, Ole. Make it good. Following just inside a second of Fox, so still hanging on to fourth at 16.8 kilometers. Still a lot of skiing left, though. He's got to get to 20K. He's only at 16.8. And he's holding Fox off by a single second.
Well, his best finishes have come in this event. 11th in Kontiolahti in the 2022-23 season, and then also had a good result in the 20K in Antholz back in 21-22, finishing 18th. But this would be a huge personal best, and well, if he can find a way to keep this pace rolling, a first flower ceremony after 217 World Cup appearances.
Yeah, he's got 6 seconds to play with to stay in the flower ceremony if he wants to be Hartweg. Here's Rosbo now, one of the 2 brothers racing for Denmark. 78th starter of 97.
We have 65 of those across the finish line.
Well, that look says it all.
Yeah, really tough day in the office there.
So Rosbo carrying 11 penalties on the day. That's a tough way to ski an individual. Hiidensalo, everybody's still waiting to see where the Finn stacks up. He's gone through the 16.8, now has to approach the 18.4, but Tommaso Giacomel nearly winning his first World Championship.
But still his first individual medal at World Championships. And, well, Chad, we've spoken about it plenty this week. The frustration that he's shown because he has come so close on 2 occasions now here in Kontiolahti to then come back and do it, to channel that energy in the right way. He's been able to do that today.
Yeah, it's great to see. I mean, I think, again, the youth movement, Perrault and Giacomel, you're kind of waiting for that. When is that going to happen? When are they going to actually step up and emerge and be able to beat the likes of Johannes Tingus Bø? Well, they did it today, and they did it in fine form. Norwegians really in the back seat with Johannes Tingus Bø 35 seconds off the pace of Perrault on course, just the ski time.
So watching Hiidensalo of Finland, one of our very few clean shooters on the day. Thierry Longer, the only to have finished so far with 20 out of 20.
See the time at 18.4 kilometers of Ole Hiidensalo approaching that of Fillon Maillet. Try to locate that time check. Finland finding their way into the narrative seems like every day, somehow. Falls outside the time of Fillon Maillet, but now racing Hartvig for 4th.
And he will do it, surely, as we get a brief glimpse of where the time check is.
Oh, he's doing well.
Yeah,
he's actually making time on. Making time on Hartvig is Ole Hiidensalo, the biggest opportunity of his life. It's probably not going to be a bronze medal. He's 14 seconds shy of that, but certainly a personal best.
Through 18.4 kilometers.
He's been 11th twice. It's been 2 years since he finished 11th in Kontiolahti on home snow in Finland. So Hiidensalo trying to get into the top 4 for the first time. It won't be a medal, but that'll feel like a medal to him.
As Tello Seppälä, his compatriot, comes across the line in 30th for now. Claude finishing 38th. And Jake Brown of the USA finishing 24th.
Give him a big hand of applause and extra energy for the Hartvig Hill. Heya, heya!
There's Hiidensalo coming towards the finish line now. The time you see is the time at the finish. He's still making his way down that hill, so way outside the time of Perrault. He's got a minute to get to the time of Fillon Maillet. He's not going to do that, we know that, but it's really coming down to whether he'll finish 4th. Big moment for Ole Hiidensalo.
It will be a flower ceremony, though, the first of his career.
34 years of age. He's been on the World Cup since the 2013-2014 season. Has never finished the overall standings inside the top 30. He was 30th 2 seasons ago. That was his high watermark as an athlete.
So he comes over the bridge and will turn down.
He was actually the last athlete to make the Finnish team when Otto Invenius was unable due to health to make the team. They named Ole Hiidensalo, who was competing with Paul Schomer at the time of the IBU Cup, and Hiidensalo steps up big and is going to go top 5 here, I think.
Yep, coming around the back of the main stand here at the Roland Arena. He'll go round the corner and into the stadium.
He's got 15 seconds to get 4th place.
One big final push for Ole Hiidensalo. It will be a huge personal best, and it will be 4th.
Oh, by the narrowest of margins, 0.6 of a second. Moves ahead of Hartvig. Hyvä Olli, hyvä.
And there to meet him is Telo Seppälä. Excellent reaction from...
That's a big result for Olli.
Yeah, and another big result for the Finnish team. We spoke about it very early on in this race, saying outside of Suvi Minkin, and they are having some really solid performances, particularly in the range, and their skis have been excellent as well. And we get to see that highlighted when so often it is Suvi Minkkinen who has the light shone on her. Vadim Corrales. Now 2 misses, that's 3. Bib 89 of 97.
Corrales trying to stay in the top 75. He's in challenge stroller for 72nd. Should point out the Americans, all 3 separated by less than 10 seconds. 8 seconds between Campbell Wright in 23rd, Paul Schomer 24th, and Jake Brown in 25th. Not a landmark day for the United States, but a nice solid team performance to be all 3 in the top 25 with Maxime Germain sitting back in 60th.
Clean shooting so far for Ellard of Latvia. 6th World Championships. Taking his time, but he's accurate so far. There's the first miss. (18 out of 20 for the Latvian. Well, down in front of us in the main stand here at the Roland Arena, a large flag that says Tommy Jacamel Fan Club has been erected in front of us with a number of flags around with not just Jacamel on, but some other of the Italian athletes and plenty of Italian flags forcing their way to the front, and plenty of French flags around them as well. It will be France who do the double in the individual. Julia Simon taking the gold in the women's side of things, and Eric Perrault winning the men's 20 kilometers, his first world title as an individual athlete. Brilliant once again to see the celebrations of the Finnish team.
Yeah, 34 years of age. You've been a journeyman of the sport for a long time. If you're 34 years of age and get your first top 5, and Olli Hiddensalo has waited a long time for this kind of a performance, and congratulations to him. It's kind of the feel-good non-medal story of the day.
A real mixed bag in terms of the ages on the flower ceremony. It's almost split completely in two, with Eric Perrault and Tommaso Jacamel taking first and second, Nicholas Hartvig 5th. Then you have Jakov Vak in 6th, Olli Hiddensalo in 4th, and Quentin Filmae in 3rd.
Yeah, it's a great top 10 even. You've got Slovenia, Switzerland, Finland, France, and Italy in the top 6. And then Germany, Czech Republic, Norway, and another Swiss, just Germany, Czech Republic, and Norway. So 8 teams in the top 10. Belgium has an athlete in 13th. Top Swede is Jesper Nylén in 14th.
Who has quietly been just going about his business, Jesper Nylén.
Yeah.
You can't really have too many complaints from these World Championships. Here's Halden Borglum of Canada, our final starter, bib number 97, 2 misses from his first 2 visits to the range.
It's gonna be a great shooting performance. Oh, missed that last shot. Halden Borglum.
Some brilliant facial expressions there. You could see how much he wanted to go 10 for 10 from his last 2 visits. But it's 17 out of 20 for Borglum. He goes into 70th for now. But not the perfect story for France all round, Chad. Of course, Eric Perrault and Quentin Fillon ensuring that for each of the podiums so far at Lenzerheide 2025, there is a French athlete standing in at least one of the spots. But once again, Emilien Jacquelin, not his day. And, well, you can see the look on his face there, just sheer disappointment. How do you move on from that mentally?
Yeah, I don't know. Jacquelin is a very interesting guy. He gets on highs and gets on lows, and sometimes I think sometimes he lets the sport get away from him. I think he did that a little bit today. He just kind of took the sport a little bit for granted, and it's easy to do when you've already got a medal in a mixed relay. You feel like you're having a good performance, but you have to respect the sport, and when you don't, you end up with too many misses and wondering what happened, and it can kind of send you into a tailspin. Hopefully he can pull himself out of that for the rest of these championships. There's still a lot of racing to contend. Most importantly, the men's relay coming up. They need him for the relay.
Yeah. France taking 4 out of 4 on the men's side of the relays on the World Cup. And, well, you know, Norway, with the weight and pressure that they're under to deliver, will come out fighting. Alexandras Patriuks with 9 misses. The Latvian bib 96 is in 93rd as he comes through 16.8 kilometers. 81 of our 97 athletes have come across the finish line. There are 2 of the Australians travelling together. Bibs at 76 and 81. Phoenix Spark, who is in the red boots. As the 2 Australians side by side.
Position for him at 2 penalty minutes. And now we welcome on the last meters here in the finish.
Noah Bradford just dropping back as Phoenix Spark. And the other way around as it is Noah Bradford who will come towards the line first, and Phoenix Spark across the line in 79th. Noah Bradford in 82nd. Marcus Bollin-Webb of Great Britain down on his haunches, coming across the line at the same time. After a strong final lap, just 2 misses on the day for Marcus Bollin-Webb, starting bib number 80 and finishing 72nd.
Still 14 more athletes out on the course still before we wind down and get to the medal ceremony. The French just have an answer for everything. If Emilien Jacquelin is off on his shooting, well, they've got Eric Perrault completely on his shooting today, and his skiing. It's phenomenal ski performance by the Frenchman.
This is a good performance from bib 92, Egaz Mise. 18.4 kilometers in 61st. It's a new personal best for Marcus Bollin-Webb of Great Britain. And his 72nd place finish. Środolski of Poland, 3 misses. 94, so these are later starters. This is Matthew Chronicle. His first solo race to World Championships, part of the quartet, the first in 10 years to represent Great Britain at the World Championships in the mixed relay. Great that Great Britain and Northern Ireland have been able to put out 5 athletes competing across the events here at Lenzerheide 2025.
And a respectable finish by number 85. Matthew Chronicle.
And Chronicle over the line in 83rd after starting bib 85. And a strong performance on the skis for the Briton. Well, once again, Chad, not a medal for the Swiss athletes today, but another flower ceremony. Nicholas Hartberg finishing 5th, Sebastian Solder just outside the top 10 in 11th. And they've spoken about wanting a medal, but they do genuinely seem so pleased by the overall performances of the athletes so far.
Yeah, I think the Swiss men are in 11th and 5th. I think you've got to feel like that's a pretty good day. I mean, I know everybody measures things in medals, but that is a strong performance at a World Championships to have two in the top 15, nearly 2 in the top 10.
And the camaraderie between the Finnish team and the French team. And a job well done by the Norwegian head coach of the Finnish team, Tornøs Kolstad.
He's got a great aura about him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He just has, like, you can see when somebody brings something to a team, something inspiring, and I think the Finns have really embraced Ellard, and he's absolutely delivered on both performance aspects and just the psychology of the team. I think the team looks like a whole new team, and a lot of these athletes have been around. Like Heidenstal has been around a long time. To just get fourth in a World Championships is not a fluke. You can tell they've done the work.
And particularly in the range, the only athlete in the top 10 to shoot clean. The next to hit 20 out of 20 was Thierry Longer down in 13th, and no one after that. So just 2 going 20 for 20. That's, of course, one of the questions on the IBU Predict Challenge today. So congratulations if you went for 2.
I was way off.
Yeah, I went for over 5 as well. I was far too confident.
Well, I saw 5 in the women's race yesterday, and I just thought the men would match it, but you know, the wind wasn't different. I think the light was pretty similar. I think a lot of it is just maybe the fatigue, maybe the nerves of the World Championship. But right now, just besides Heidenstal, looks like we have
only Thierry Longer.
only 2.
Just 2.
Yeah, it's just that's crazy.
Just 2 clean. It was 2 misses at each stage for Javier Jimenez of Argentina. Third for the Argentinian with 8 misses. And now 94 of our 97 athletes have finished. A thumbs up for the Argentinian.
3 more on the course still. We've got Borglum from Canada and Ikshakov of Slovakia.
And here is the Canadian, Halden Borglum. Setting a new personal best in the sprint, just at 2 places off qualifying for the pursuit, finishing 62nd. Making regular appearances on the World Cup this season. As part of the relay team for Canada. And 17 out of 20 for Halden Borglum.
And that will wrap up the men's 20-kilometer for the 2025 World Championships. And Nicholas Hartwig getting a hug.
So as the sun begins to fall behind the trees here in Lenzerheide, a new dawn. Eric Perrault taking a top spot his first World Championships title as an individual athlete. 19 out of 20 and blisteringly quick on the skis. Tommaso Giacomel unable to hang on. That gap just continued to open through the final lap for the Italian, but enough for his first individual medal of the World Championships, and Quentin Fillon-Maillet adds to his collection from the World Championships here. And well, Chad, we know just how frustrated Fillon-Maillet was not to feature in the mixed relay team. He really has bounced back, and single mixed up next. Eric Perrault has performed so well, of course. You expect it probably will be Perrault who steps out as part of the duo there, but Quentin Fillon-Maillet, what a response to take 2 bronze medals.
Yeah, it goes to 9 bronze medals at the World Championships. At these World Championships, I think that Fillon-Maillet just has, he realized he had to step up. I think that's the biggest thing. You can always be a little bit bummed out about a decision, but the fact of the matter is that he was not ranked in the top 2 to be in that mixed relay. It was a reasonable choice by the coaches, but he's gotten over it like a professional, and he stepped up today. But I do think that I believe if I have any insight, it'll be Perrault with Simon for the single mixed relay tomorrow for France, and that would be formidable. If you look at the ski time of Perrault, he absolutely destroyed Poncelom at 21 seconds, 35 seconds on Boo, and then they're going to go and put shooting speed and time onto it. For the single mixed relay is all about shooting, accuracy, and quick shooting, and Perrault is one of the fastest shooters out there. And
we saw over the course of this championships and of course in Antholz as well, just how quick Julius Simon was. We will wait to see when the start lists come out later on this evening, but the wider story of the podium as well, Chad. Finland and Olli Hiidensalo taking 4th, clean shooting, one of only 2 athletes to shoot 20 out of 20 in the individual. Niklas Hartvig taking 5th, and plenty of celebrations around the young Swiss athlete, and Jakob Vack in the twilight of his career, proving that well, he has well and truly still got it with 6th and 19 out of 20. A good day in the range as well.
Absolutely. I think, unfortunately for Hiidensalo, I don't think he's going to get the nod for this single mixed relay. It's probably going to go to Tero Seppälä just with his speed, but you know, everybody's the single mixed relay is a totally different event, and that comes tomorrow on the docket, and it's really fun. It's a fun event. It happens very quickly, but you really need somebody who can step up and knock shots down and do it quickly. And I think we're going to see it'll be interesting to see who the Norwegians pick. I believe they'll probably go with Johannes Tingus Bø, and then Martin Kirchheide would be my choice. France, I think they've got their team. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Another bronze medal at Lenzerheide 2025 for Quentin Fillon-Maillet. Tommaso Giacomel taking his first individual world medal after 2 days of frustration, 2 5th-place finishes in the sprint and the pursuit. On the podium as an individual athlete for the first time at a World Championships. And after a really challenging first half of the season, this is Tommaso Giacomel, who is in fine form. Eric Perrault, though, cool as you like, composed in the range, superb on the skis, and enough for him to claim his first world title by 52.4 seconds. World champion for the first time as an individual athlete, to add to his collections over the years from France in the relay.
Yeah, he and Fillon-Maillet really on another level today. They outski Poncelom in 3rd by 20 seconds, 19 and 20 seconds respectively. They were the class of the field, and you know, Fillon-Maillet, even with 3 misses on the podium, you have to be flying.
Eric, congratulations, you are a world champion. How does it feel?
Amazing. I've been working for it every day, I mean, like everyone here, of course, but to have this feeling to succeed on a race at the right time, doing the right job, feel amazing.
Missing once at the second shooting, did you still believe that it's possible to win today?
I mean, I'm trying to not think too much about it, because you know, the race is so long that you can think about so many things, and I think the key is to focus on what you are doing right now. And I was trying to just focus on my skis and to still believe in it, of course. And because I raced early in the race, I was still on the top position. So I knew I was fighting for something big, and I was just trying to continue my work.
And it was really big. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much, unbelievable.
A very, very happy Eric Perrault after claiming his first individual world title, and in dominant fashion as well. And we can look now at the medal table, which France still top. They haven't fallen out of top spots over the course of the last week. 4 gold medals, 5 bronze, yet to claim a silver medal, Chad. 9 in total. Norway in second, just 2 gold medals. Where do you think that falls in comparison to what they expected?
For the French?
For Norway.
For Norway, I think that you have to believe they've expected more medals than they've gotten so far. Still really important races to come. I think the thing that I see is that Norway is on their heels for the men's relay right now, which is, I think, is the most important thing to the Norwegian men. They want to win that men's relay. They've lost 4 out of 4 times to the French, and that doesn't feel good. They don't like that. I can guarantee you that. So I think that you know, I hate to take a task, but they have the biggest budget. They have the biggest wax service team, and they missed it today. And they have to do better. I think that if the Norwegians are going to come here and they're going to have the resources they have and not do better than they did today, they got to go back to the drawing board. I think the technicians have a big job to do after today's performance.
Well, we spoke about it yesterday with regards to the women, but in similar fashion today, we saw Oliana Bjorndalen over the course of this week say that the coaches need to start to take some responsibility because of the pressure weighted on the athletes. They need to, as you say, go back to the drawing board. That's not an easy task, though, and that's not something that happens quickly.
No, and I think you have to look at the skis. There's just no way the Norwegians skied this poorly on fitness alone. It's almost to a person, roughly a minute to a minute and a half slower than you would expect them to be today, and that's just, you can't come to the World Championships and have that happen, especially when you're already under the gun and maybe feeling like you're underperforming as a nation. So they've got some work. It's going to be tough, tense nights in the Norwegian wax trucks for the next 2 days, but we got another opportunity tomorrow with the single mixed relay. I think they've got a team they can put out there that can compete with the French, but it's going to be a tough task to win again tomorrow.
Yep, over the halfway point of the championships now. We're, of course, back for the single mixed relay tomorrow, kicking off at the later time of 4:05 Central European time, before we take a break on Friday, and then a weekend that is packed full of biathlon action here in Lenzerheide. A double day of relays on Saturday, followed by 2 mass starts to round things out on the Sunday. Not to be today for Campbell Wright, Chad. All 3 of the Americans finishing consecutively, though, through places 23 with Campbell Wright, through to Jake Brown at 25th.
I've always said if you can put 4 people in the top 30 in an individual or sprint competition, you've got a good relay team. The United States now, if you look at their top 3, I think the youngest member of the team, Maxime Germain, I think showing a little fatigue today. Ski performance off the mark. But Maxime Germain has had a great week so far, best week of his career. They've got a good chance at a relay, maybe not a medal, but a top 5 in the relay would be great for the United States. With the, maybe with it, we want to talk about it, but if maybe some teams falter, with a shot at a medal.
Yep, and potential challenges about selecting that as well, because of course 4 men going in this individual, and there's 5 on the team for the USA.
Yeah.
There's always a headache to having that, but particularly when you're coming from a smaller biathlon nation where you don't always have that pool of talent to dip into, they're good headaches to have.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you look who's sitting out, Sean Doherty, he's been solid this week. I think that Sean Doherty's shooting on the shooting range is very stable. It's the kind of guy that you need in a relay. His experience, he's been great since he's a junior. But yeah, the United States with Jake Brown having a great day today in 27th, they're gonna have something to talk about in the next 2 days as they figure out who they're gonna put on the relay for the U.S. men. I think any way you slice it, it's gonna be a strong team. Then you look at the Norwegian team. They've got to come up with something to beat the French. And I think if you look at Emilien Jacquelin's performance today, it makes you feel a little bit shaky about where you put him in the relay, or maybe if you put him there at all.
From a Norwegian perspective, could we see Vetle Sjostad Christensen back? Do you think this is the time to call him up?
Based on what I saw at the European Championships, I don't think Vetle Sjostad Christensen's fitness is something that'll give you a ton of confidence. But if you look at today's ski performance from the Norwegians, you might take that back. So they've definitely got to consider that as well. And there's no more racing between now and the men's relay draw. So you decide, do you go with Christensen and go with the old school team that has won so many times, and kind of almost go with superstition at that point, or do you put I think Stromsheim probably took himself out of the relay today with his performance, just not skiing anywhere near the level of the rest of the field. It certainly makes for interesting conversation.
But the conversations we were hearing, it was either going to be between Vetle Sjostad Christensen or Martin Oldal, potentially. He finished down in 43rd.
Right. It's tough.
It's so tough to pick that Norwegian team, as you say, with the mindset of beating the French, who today, despite it being a mixed bag overall as a team, they have 2 men on the podium once again.
Right. So I think you have to put the Boo brothers in. They're stable. They're stable shooters. Today is an anomaly. You shake that off. You put Johannes and Tarja on there. You put Sturla Holm-Lagerud on there. Then it's the question of who goes third for Norway. And you have, if you look down the finishing results for the Norwegians, you have Sørum in 45th with 5 misses on the day. Not a great performance by him. And looking further, you look at trying to find Stromsheim. Where did Stromsheim at? Stromsheim is in the 9th. He was 9th. Skied pretty poorly, but hit 19 for 20. I think at that point you're looking at Christensen versus Stromsheim. Or Oldal, but Oldal, again, like you said, not really skiing particularly great today, not really shooting very well at all. And remember, the relay is a shooting race, so you're going to put a Stromsheim in that situation, I think.
Similar questions around Sweden as well, of course, who we've seen on so many occasions ski their way out of disasters and find their way onto the podium. But Sebastian Samuelsson finishing 47th today. Jesper Nälin, the best of the Swedes, he came across the line in 14th, and Martin Ponsiluoma in 19th.
Yeah, Swedes don't really have an option though. They've got their guys. They just have to step up and perform. But they're not looking particularly strong either. And I think when you look at that, France looks really good on paper, and then I think it opens the door for a roll of the dice German team. I think they could swing in there and maybe scoop a medal. I think, again, the United States, 3 guys in the top 25. That's a pretty solid statement by the United States. They could figure into the medal.
We've seen Slovenia come close to the medal positions as well, with good performance as well today from Jakov Fak. Czechia potentially inspired by that silver medal in the mixed relay. Italy as well, who have just been so poor in the relay this season in comparison to what they've done over the course of the last few seasons. And Chad, that's a great call, really opens the door for them. They fell outside the medal positions in Antholz, and you could see the frustration on the face of Tommaso Giacomel that day. And well,
it's going to be interesting anyway.
It will be interesting. Of course, we have our single mixed relay to come first. And before all of that, the final bit of action of the day, and that is the podium for our men in the classic, the big one, the 20-kilometre. And well, what a race it was. drama all the way through to the end, with Olli Hiddensalo chasing his first flower ceremony, which of course he secured as well, his personal best, coming from bib 75. So late in the order, the drama continued. Temperatures plummeting here in Lenzerheide. A second bronze medal of Lenzerheide 2025 for Quentin Filmaillet. Three misses, the most of anyone in the top 10. Really strong skiing, and well, the crowd, a very popular bronze medal as the French fans pack out the stadium in front of the podium and chant the name of the Frenchman. That's what it means to Tommaso Giacomel to claim a first individual medal at a World Championships.
You knew it was coming, the question was when, and today was the day.
24 years old. A huge step up in comparison to the last World Championships. He has plenty of fans here in Lenzerheide and the backing of an Italian team that have eyes on the Olympic Games next year. And I haven't seen anyone do that with Lenzy yet, so he's found a position for his mascot. A first world title for Eric Perrault. Claiming gold in the men's 20-kilometer individual in spectacular fashion. His second gold of Lenzerheide 2025 after being part of the back-to-back gold medal winning mixed relay team for France. He secured his first individual medal in the pursuit. And now world champion. And this is the future of biathlon.
Being at the top of the sport, it's all about consistency. Consistency in training, consistency in fitness, consistency on the work you do on the range. And the man on the top of the podium is we're starting to see consistency. And that's what Tommaso Giacomel now has to step up and do as well.
Eric Perrault with the golden gloves and copying one of his closest friends on the circuit, Tommaso Giacomel, and alongside his compatriot, Quentin Filmaillet. Your top three in the men's individual here at Lenzerheide 2025.
The future is now.
And it's very bright indeed. And new ground for Olli Hiddensalo at 34 years old, stepping up from the IBU Cup. And taking forth the first flower ceremony for him, Nicholas Hartvig claiming fifth. Once again, Switzerland so close to finding a way onto the podium, but still delighted with the performances of their athletes this week. And rounding out the top six once again, Jakov Fak with yet another flower ceremony here at Lenzerheide 2025.
How can he retire? He's still in the flower ceremony. It's wonderful to see Jakov Fak. He came in as a youngster from Croatia, moved to Slovenia, and still all these years later, nearly 20 years later, he's still relevant in the sport. Real look of satisfaction for Olli Hiidensalo, high watermark of his career. And Hartwig giving the home fans something to feel proud about.
They've had lots to cheer this week. The Swiss just waiting on that first medal. But once again, we will hear the French national anthem ring out around the Roland Arena. Individual world title for Eric Perrault, who is soaking it up and enjoying every moment. And the fourth time now, the French fans who have packed out the stands at pretty much every stop on the World Cup circuit have heard the national anthem so regularly. They've been singing it without any backing music, and for the fourth time here at Lenzerheide, the Marseillaise rings out.
And look at that medal count. It's interesting to note that Eric Perrault's mother is Norwegian, and his father's a biathlete from France. I know his father, Frank. And he had a choice to compete for Norway or compete for France. Look at that medal count. And he chose, I think for now he's feeling like he chose the right nation to compete for.
Well, that brings about a pause in the individual competitions here at Lenzerheide 2025. Our attention turns to the single mixed relay tomorrow, before the men's and women's relays on Saturday, a break from competition on Friday, and then we conclude with the mass start on Sunday for both the men and the women. Norway going back to the drawing board. How do you stop the French? A podium that signals the future of biathlon. And the future is very bright indeed. We will be back tomorrow. The latest start time of 4:05 for the single mixed relay.
So bewegen sich jetzt Trainer an, wo wir 16 Sekunden und der hat diese Medaille für die geschossen, hat klar Favorit und geschossen. Niklas, dein Fazit nach dem unglaublichen Rennen?
Ja, es ist natürlich schade, dass ein paar Krankheiten wahrscheinlich aber es ist kurz Biathlon, sehr schön für die Krankheit, aber ich bin Schluss und trotzdem jetzt nicht mehr
Wir haben ja noch zwei Trainer mit ihrer Heimwehr. Also das heisst, der Trainer ist auch für aber sicher auch das dritte Liga. wahnsinnig dort war das Publikum auch, es war zu stimmig.
Ja, es ist unfassbar. Also es macht wirklich Spaß. Es ist extrem speziell für uns Schweizer. Es ist sicher nicht gut. Und das Publikum, was es liebt.
Ja, liebe Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer, das war es also vom heutigen Tag in Sachen Einzelrennen der Herren. Es war unglaublich spannend, gell? Lenzer, tut sich, auch Lenzer hat seine Freude. Schön, dass ihr alle mit dabei habt. Schaut mal dieses wunderbare Bild da oben mit dem Lenzerheide. Die Sonne, die langsam aber sicher runtergeht. Oben in Fernwillig, da wird noch lange gefeiert. Bis heute Abend um 21 Uhr ist der Party angesagt. Herzlich willkommen und sonst sehen wir uns hoffentlich morgen wieder. Morgen bei der Silbermix-Staffel und da werden wir noch einiges auf das Spektakel haben. Morgen um 16:50 Uhr der Start. Wir sind so ab 13 Uhr für euch da. Also es würde mich freuen, wenn wir euch morgen wiedersehen. Und in diesem Sinne, schön, dass ihr da wart und macht jetzt einfach Party. Und morgen sind wir wieder hier im Rahmen der BMW IBU-Weltmeisterschaft im Biathlon Lenzerheide 2025. Danke, dass du da warst. Einen schönen Abend. Tschüss miteinander. für die